Wow! Welcome everyone to a journey through time, but not just any time, animal time. The world of nature is absolutely incredible, and one of the most fascinating things to explore is how long different animals get to live on this amazing planet of ours. Some animals are here for what feels like just a moment, a tiny flash in the grand scheme of things. Their entire existence, from birth to old age, happens in a time frame that we humans might not even notice. It's a strategy that works perfectly for them, allowing them to reproduce quickly and in huge numbers. These creatures live life in the absolute fast lane, packing everything they need to do into a very, very short window. It's a wild concept to think about, isn't it? Let's start with one of the most famous examples of a short life, the mayfly. These delicate insects are champions of a brief existence. While their larval stage can last for about a year underwater, their adult life is unbelievably short. Once they emerge from the water with their beautiful, transparent wings, they have one job and one job only: to find a mate and reproduce. They don't even have working mouths to eat. Most adult mayflies live for less than 24 hours. That's right, a single day to fly, find a partner, and continue their species. It's an incredible race against the clock, a true sprint for survival that has been perfected over millions of years. Moving up the scale just a little bit, we find the hard-working honeybee. We all know and love these guys for the delicious honey they make and for their vital role as pollinators. A worker honeybee, the female bees that do all the work in the hive, has a lifespan that depends heavily on the season. In the busy summer months, when they are flying tirelessly from flower to flower to collect nectar and pollen, their little bodies wear out quickly. A summer worker bee might only live for about 5 to 6 weeks. That's a month and a half of non-stop labor for the good of the colony before their time is up. Now, let's talk about a fish with a surprisingly short life: the 7-figure pygmy goby. This tiny fish, found in the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, holds the record for the shortest lifespan of any vertebrate, any animal with a backbone. Its entire life cycle, from hatching to growing up to reproducing, is completed in just about 59 days. That's less than 2 months. In that short time, it has to navigate the dangers of the coral reef, find food, and make sure it leaves behind the next generation. It's a powerful reminder that in nature, the length of a life isn't nearly as important as what you do with the time you have. Alright, let's move on from the sprinters and look at animals that get a bit more time on the clock. This is the middle ground, where lifespans are measured not in days or weeks, but in months and years. Here we start to see animals that we are more familiar with, creatures that share our homes and our backyards. These animals have enough time to learn, to form social bonds, and to experience the changing of the seasons multiple times over. Their life strategy isn't about a mad dash to reproduce. It's more of a marathon, where they have to navigate a more complex world over a longer period. It's a different kind of survival game entirely. A great example here is the chameleon. These masters of disguise are some of the most unique reptiles on the planet. Their ability to change color, their independently moving eyes, and that super long tongue are just incredible. Depending on the species, a chameleon in the wild might live for about 2 to 3 years. In that time, they have to become experts at ambushing their insect prey and, of course, avoiding becoming prey themselves. Their lives are a constant game of hide and seek, and their lifespan gives them just enough time to master the art of blending in with their surroundings and passing on their genes to the next generation of color-changing wonders. Now for man's best friend, the dog. Our loyal canine companions have lifespans that can vary a lot depending on their breed and size. Generally speaking, smaller dogs tend to live longer than larger dogs. A small dog like a Chihuahua might live for 15 to 20 years, which is a good long time to be part of a family. On the other hand, a giant breed like a Great Dane might only live for about 7 to 10 years. It's a trade-off. Their large size can put more strain on their bodies, but no matter how long they are with us, they fill those years with an incredible amount of love, loyalty, and adventure. Let's head out into the wild and talk about a bird that's a true symbol of wisdom: the great horned owl. These magnificent predators are built to last. With their powerful talons, silent flight, and incredible night vision, they are at the top of their food chain in the forests of the Americas. In the wild, a great horned owl can live for about 13 years on average. That's over a decade of ruling the night sky, raising chicks, and keeping the rodent population in check. Their longer lifespan allows them to become experienced hunters and parents, passing down their survival skills through the years. It's a life of patience, power, and silent grace. Now we're getting into the really long lifespans, the animals that can live as long as, or even longer than, humans. These are the giants of our planet, creatures whose size and slow pace of life allow them to endure for decades upon decades. Living this long requires a different set of rules. These animals often have very slow metabolisms, meaning their bodies burn energy at a much slower rate. They also tend to grow slowly and reach maturity much later in life. Their strategy is all about endurance, weathering the storms of life over a vast expanse of time. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think about what these animals have witnessed in their lifetimes. Let's dive into the ocean and meet the bowhead whale. These colossal mammals are the longest living mammals on Earth. They cruise the frigid waters of the Arctic, and scientists have found that they can live for more than 200 years. Can you imagine? A bowhead whale alive today could have been born before the invention of the telephone. They've found old harpoon tips embedded in living whales that date back to the 1800s. Their incredibly slow metabolism and the cold, deep waters they inhabit help to preserve their bodies and grant them this extraordinary longevity. They are living history books of the ocean. Back on land, we have another giant known for its long life, the African elephant. These incredibly intelligent and social animals are the largest land animals on Earth, and they have a lifespan that reflects their majestic status. In the wild, an African elephant can live for 60 to 70 years, very similar to a human lifespan. They live in complex family groups led by a matriarch, the oldest and wisest female. Her long life is a library of knowledge for the herd. She knows where to find water during a drought, the best migration routes, and how to deal with danger. Their longevity is key to the survival of the entire family. Another member of the Century Club is a reptile, the Galapagos tortoise. These gentle giants are famous for their incredibly long lives and their connection to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. It's not uncommon for a Galapagos tortoise to live for over 100 years. In fact, some have been documented to live for more than 150 years. Their life is one of slow, deliberate movement. They spend their days grazing on vegetation, basking in the sun, and carrying their heavy, protective shells. Their slow metabolism is the secret to their success, allowing them to conserve energy and live at a pace that has allowed them to outlive generations of humans. We've seen animals that live for a day, and animals that live for 2 centuries, but believe it or not, the journey doesn't end there. There are creatures in the natural world that push the boundaries of what we thought was possible for a lifespan. These are the ageless wonders, animals that have biological tricks up their sleeves that allow them to live for mind-boggling lengths of time. They challenge our very definition of aging. For these animals, life isn't just a marathon. It's a timeless epic that can span hundreds or even thousands of years. It's a part of nature that feels like it's straight out of a science fiction movie, but it's happening right here on our planet. Let's go back to the cold, deep waters of the North Atlantic to find the Greenland shark. This mysterious and slow-moving creature is the longest living vertebrate known to science. Scientists have estimated that these sharks can live for at least 400 years, and possibly even more than 500 years. They grow at an incredibly slow rate, maybe only a centimeter a year, and they don't even reach sexual maturity until they are about 150 years old. Imagine a teenager that's a century and a half old. They are the ultimate survivors, silently gliding through the darkness of the deep sea for centuries, witnessing history unfold from below. And now for the grand finale, the fun fact I promised you about the oldest animal ever recorded. This title belongs to an ocean quahog, a type of clam, that was discovered off the coast of Iceland in 2006. Scientists studying its shell, which has growth rings just like a tree, gave it the nickname Ming. Why Ming? Because this incredible clam was born around the year 1499 during the Ming Dynasty in China. That means this animal was an astonishing 507 years old when it was found. It was alive before Shakespeare was born and lived through countless historical events, all while buried in the sand at the bottom of the ocean. So there you have it, an incredible tour through the vast and varied lifespans of the animal kingdom. From the mayfly's single day of glory to the Greenland shark's centuries-long journey through the deep, every animal has a life cycle that is perfectly adapted to its environment. It shows us that there's no single right way to live. Some burn bright and fast, while others smolder slowly for ages. It's a powerful lesson in the diversity of life, and a reminder of how much we still have to learn about the amazing creatures that share our world. What a wild ride.